Ooh, okay. You made it. Thank you. This is the day. Maybe. Well, this is a significant date in history. November 22nd, not just because of the numbers, but 11/22, and Bitcoin might hit 100K, maybe during my show, if I get my gift for trying to, I'm trying every possible way to think Bitcoin up to 100K without looking at the price. But we can share it together for anybody who cares about that stuff. So that's what's in the news, though, honestly. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin and Trump, and it's because of Trump. And remember I said before the election, I said, if you want to bet on Trump, just buy Bitcoin. That was good advice. You would have won a little more betting on him, but not much. Before he got elected, it was like in the 60s. So you would have made out pretty well. So you got to do that, though. You got to start somewhere. It's over. The history is written. So, all right, what's in the news? I'll show you some stuff. What's in the title is that Elon Musk says he's going to buy MSNBC. Joe Rogan says he'll replace Rachel Maddow, dress like her, and he said tell the same lies, which is weird. So, what is this one, Halil? This is what it says on my end. Rocket red countdown liftoff. Okay, that's getting ready for the show. All right. So I got a show for you. I have, we'll see. It's Friday. Ellen DeGeneres left the country. People are speculating it's because she's on Diddy's list. So I have that news. I have nuclear war is good. Or, Putin tested this. We might have that much time left, possibly. People say World War III has already started. So Putin says he's going to attack us, and he has a weapon we can't stop. That's better than anything we have. So, wow, that's a weird name. Moonfax Studios, you say it's because of Diddy? I can show you some video for talking to some kids about Diddy. People are, this is like a 5-minute clip, though. Oh, yeah, it's kids with Diddy on the Ellen show. Yeah, so they're saying she left the country. The only thing is, though, she's just going to the UK, where she would get extradited if she was really in trouble. So it's not like hiding out in some country where they don't have extradition laws. What's up, Top Feed? Yes, we are LARPing. Yes, we are trying to think magical thoughts. We are thinking about the future. We are thinking about the future of financial freedom. That's what my shirt says today. I have my Instagram post ready for when we hit 100K. And I have my champagne too. So let's see. How long has it been? 3 minutes and 41 seconds. That's not long enough. I have to play the intro. I have to play the intro a little longer into the show. I could show you this. I could show you this thing with Ellen. People say that she's escaped because of Diddy. So let's see what this is.
We're back with the kids from the nonprofit Fighting All Monsters. Now, you know that Diddy is going to see this at some point. So do you want to talk to him? Do you want to tell him something?
Thank you for posting the video and sharing it. And we're all bad boys for life.
That's right. What is the date? What is the date today? I completely, Thursday. Yeah. Thursday. I was completely wrong, wasn't I? I had the dates wrong all this time. Diddy, come on out. He's.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. He's hugging cancer babies. Oh, no. Are we in the middle of a great awakening because of Diddy being exposed? What do you guys think? Like, how are we on the path to the great awakening? Are we getting there? Are things like people think we're ascending? Well, we're supposed to go into a different form of reality at some point, according to aliens. Like, we're supposed to go into 4D soon. I think we're like overdue for it. The new age. When people when evildoers are exposed. And we kill them and eat them or something. I don't know how it works. But that's Alan Diddy. She left the country. Who cares? Just went to the UK. What's she going to like about it there? It's terrible there. To lock you up for memes. Can you believe that? Do you believe it's really happening even after seeing the videos? That people are being arrested for posting memes and stuff. I'm always like, really? That's all they posted? We have free speech in America. God bless America. And we're going to become a crypto country, a Bitcoin country. Not before everybody, but pretty early. We'll dominate. That could make us dominate the next 1,000 years if we just buy all the Bitcoin first. So, but we should just once they figure out, it's going to get so crazy. All right, you ready for the show? We'll try not to talk about Bitcoin the whole time. I don't know. It's almost 100 grand, so I get to talk about it. And Trump was into it, and he's going to appoint a crypto council. Are you ready? Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. That's right. Stone 670 AD says some real back in the day shit. The other thing about November 22nd that's significant for this operation is it's the day I originally founded my YouTube channel in 2015. I remember it well, but I didn't know it was a significant date at the time, like when they killed JFK. November 22nd. So it's been 9 years. It's been 9 years, y'all. So at least I don't look. I mean, I look different than the intro. But I still have some hair and stuff. We just don't have Doshi. All right, I'll play you some. I'll play you a video. It's a comedic video about nuclear war. We here, in addition to this guy, welcome nuclear conflict if that's what it's going to be. If that's the way it has to go, that's the way it has to go. You know, what can we do? But the aliens will probably stop it, I think. They care about us. And Putin doesn't really want to nuke anybody. If nukes are real. We decided, it was in the poll yesterday. People, I think 52% said nukes are real. Anyway, it was about 50-50. So that just tells you, what if a normal person came by and saw that poll? What would they think of you people? Like 50% of you don't believe nuclear bombs are real. That's the craziest thing ever. What do you don't think? Are you going to say we didn't go to the moon either? Oh, speaking of going to the moon, this is when I get to check my prices socially. So I'm doing a thing. I had an addiction like many people do right now to looking at price charts of cryptocurrency. So I decided yesterday or maybe the day before that I would have to stop looking, and maybe that would help Bitcoin's price go up. And the side effect is I can socially look or ask someone else and they tell me, and I have social interactions instead of just staring by myself at my computer screen or my phone screen mindlessly. So now we can share together what the price of Bitcoin is. All right, let's see. I have no idea right now. People say it's going to be a big deal when it hits 100K. I think it's kind of a big deal, but it's going to go much. I think it could go to $1 million next year. That's what I'm thinking. Some people are saying that. All right, let's look communally together. See where we're at. I was looking at MicroStrategy is insane as a company. If you're thinking of owning stocks, they're up like 800% this year or something. They buy Bitcoin and then borrow money and buy more Bitcoin. That's their whole business. It's really crazy. And actually and then the stock price pumps, they sell more stock and they buy more Bitcoin. And if they buy enough Bitcoin that the price, just based on how much they buy, is going to go up, which makes their stock price go up, which means they can buy more. It's a really weird company. And if other companies do it, which they will, because like the best performing stock on the market, then everybody's going to be just buying Bitcoin. And then everyone's going to stop working. Once they realize this life hack, like when you have a child, all you have to do is buy like $100 of Bitcoin. And by the time they're 18, it pays for college. I mean, pretty much. So like life becomes a lot easier. You have to have patience. You have to wait. But I have to think, like, if I can wait 10 years or something, I'll never have to worry about money again. Because of the magic of cryptocurrency and Satoshi Nakamoto. So when I say Bitcoin saves, it does save. It saves you from having to do a job in the end. Then you can just watch your Bitcoin. But I figured, I was like, oh, if I'm looking at the charts this much, it's just going to, oh, it's 98,697. How terrible. Well, it's been bouncing around all the time. So it's just bouncing around. 98,697. So it's going to get to 100. Somebody did message me and say on their Robinhood it hit 100K, but it was a scam wick. So there you go. That's what it's at right now. Okay, I did want to check. Well, that's all right. I don't need to check other things. So invest at your own risk. If you want somebody to hold your hand, let me know. 98,498. That's crazy. It was a lot. It's gone up a lot this year. I'll show you some more videos about it probably. Ms. Hayes says, I appreciate your optimism. Good. Yeah, all you have to, it's like the thing that people are proving is that if you do nothing else but buy Bitcoin, but you have to somehow have money to buy Bitcoin in the first place. And then you'll be able to borrow money based on your Bitcoin. All right. I'll show you this. Welcoming nuclear war. Okay. Why nuclear war is good. Okay.
3 reasons why nuclear war is actually a good thing. Number one, nuclear war would allow us to reset our current power structures, doing away with capitalism, patriarchy, and systemic racism, and replacing them with a more equitable, progressive system that reflects the kind of people we are and the kind of world we want to build. This great reset would also include sustainability. This brings us to point number two. Nuclear war would be brilliant for the environment. With a massively reduced human population, the carbon footprint would drop hugely, allowing the planet to thrive and nature to recover from hundreds of years of human damage. Point number three, of course, speaks for itself. With a nuclear conflict in the next couple of weeks, this would mean Donald Trump doesn't get into office. And if you consider the amount of damage that Donald Trump will do once he gets into office, this pales in comparison to a nuclear war. We must stand with Ukraine to the bitter end, and the time has come to use nuclear weapons against Russia. If that happens, if we have a nuclear war, you might be surprised that blessings come in mysterious packages.
That guy's some kind of troll. That guy's a troll. But you could think it is possible. There are people who really think that, because we need to have less humans. So if we can wipe out a lot of them all at once, then we can just like start over with just liberals. But I don't know how that's going to work. Now that guy's a troll. He's just making joke videos. He acts serious though. Yeah, it's a parody. He doesn't make it obvious though. All right, I have news. I'm going to give you some different news. Matt Gaetz just nominated some guy for Treasury Secretary who used to work for George Soros. So apparently. So I guess that's weird. Nobody's saying, I don't know if anybody's talking about it. It just happened. Scott Bessent. He was known as George Soros's former chief investment officer. So, and later founded his own company. So I don't know what his views are on anything, crypto or otherwise. Don't know anything about him. But apparently used to be very high up with Mr. Soros's organization. So, which could be a good thing. I mean, if he was just managing money, it wasn't involved in the politics. Okay, so that's going on with the president and the cabinet, and then Matt Gaetz pulled out. Insert joke here, and he says does he always wear glasses? He says he's going to have some other position of some sort. This made news today. He's not going to join the Congress, he says. So he had a chance. He retired. It's kind of weird. He retired from this Congress, but he was elected to the next Congress, which hasn't been seated yet. So they say technically he could actually say, oh, okay, I'll just come back for my, for the new Congress that he got elected for. So he did just get voted in. It is kind of weird. I mean, it is kind of like disrespectful to your constituents a little bit that you allowed them to vote for you. And then you're like, oh yeah, I was kind of done anyway. I mean, he just got reelected. I don't know. People are speculating about Matt Gaetz that it was the Jews that stopped him from being from getting the nod. That's what people are speculating on Twitter, where a lot of people speculate about the Jews. People are saying because he didn't take any AIPAC money, and he also voted against the anti-Semitism bill and said it was bullshit. So, Gabriel SYT says DeSantis might make him senator. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Although this sex stuff, I don't know how sensitive people are to it. It sounds like, I don't know, kind of sounds like it really happened. So people have to be able to get past that, which I just don't know how sensitive people are to stuff like that. Paying hookers and and one of them being underage, at least for the state of Florida, 17. So, but yeah, he might get appointed senator if DeSantis doesn't think he's going to take too much heat over the sex stuff, because I think more stuff will come out. Maybe. I don't know. That's speculation. Ms. Hayes says he calls out everyone involved with insider trading. Yeah, they're talking about that now. I mean, people have been talking about that kind of all year, how Congress people make too much money on stocks. It is kind of true. But, in some cases, it's like not information that isn't public, really. They're just like, they just realize the effects legislation will have and things. But no, sometimes they really do have inside info and they're allowed to bet on it, which is insane. If you can predict the future, then you can make money off of it. So if they know the government is going to be giving money to some company, like tax benefits or whatever, they might know it in advance. So anyway, Matt Gaetz is talking about it a little bit. Also, he's talking about it currently on Twitter, saying he's getting ready to expose things that happened in Congress. Maybe he's going to write a book or something. I don't know. Here's the clip.
So Matt, I now have to ask about just what your plans are, and it's okay if you have to, punt on it because you might not know. It's important to know you resigned from this Congress, not the next Congress. Our audience is 100% behind Matt Gaetz, by the way. They are very, very upset that you were not able to get all the way to Attorney General. I have to ask, what is next for Matt Gaetz?
I'm still going to be in the fight, but it's going to be from a new perch. I do not intend to join the 119th Congress. There are a number of fantastic Floridians who've stepped up to run for my seat, people who have inspired with their heroism, with their public service. And I'm actually excited to see Northwest Florida go to new heights and have great representation. Charlie, I've been in an elected office for 14 years. I first got elected to the state house when I was 26 years old, and I'm 42 now. And I've got some other goals in life that I'm eager to pursue with my wife and my family. And so I'm going to be fighting for President Trump. I'm going to be doing whatever he asks of me, as I always have. But I think that 8 years is probably enough time in the United States Congress. In Florida, our voters got to vote on term limits for state government, and the campaign was 8 is enough. And so you can only do 8 years in the Florida House of Representatives. And so it seems like a pretty poetic time to allow that great new blood to come in, to allow my district to have high quality representation. And don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not taking off for a tropical excursion for the rest of my life. I am here to help save this country. And one thing the great patriots at Turning Point know, we need people at every level. We need brilliant lawyers on the outside. We need tough congressmen and congresswomen on the inside. We need a leadership structure under President Trump that's going to allow for durability of our movement and the ability to continue this great realignment of our politics. And so I'll play a part in that. I plan to be a big voice, but maybe not as an elected member of the government.
There you go. Maybe. See, do you hear what he said at the end? I plan to be a big voice, maybe not as an elected member of government. So that would not be, he would be appointed. I guess he can be, that's the thing, is he can just be appointed senator, maybe. That's maybe the rules in Florida. But I'm not sure. So, but that could be the case. He could just be appointed, which would mean it's not elected, but it's still elected office. So I kind of think it sounds like he wants to write a book or something, just be some kind of free agent. He's probably offered money from people. He could probably just go off and work. People who support Trump will want to, rich people who support Trump will hire him. So the world is his oyster. Hookers and coke forever. For Matt Gaetz. He just got caught. I think a bunch of them do it. They're looking to get crazy. They have lots of free time. They're away from their families down there in DC, you know, staying in like bunk houses, getting up to gay stuff together, probably too. That's what it's like being in Congress. So anyway, that's Matt Gaetz. He says from a different perch. That's what he says. All right, what am I going to show you next? I do have a lot of crypto stuff. People glaze over at that. I have this trans activist. I haven't seen this one. There's an argument over men and ladies' restrooms and dressing rooms, which I think this argument, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've been trying to listen to news shows about it and stuff. They say transphobic bill. It's transphobic, apparently, right, to suggest that trans people use a restroom that's, you know, or that basically men don't give a shit, you know, honestly. Well, they've probably never been like, yeah, they've never probably had a woman like sexually assault them. But if a woman dresses as a man and wants to go to the men's room, no man is gonna care at all. But women don't like the men, so that's what it's all about. Anyway, some men want to use women's restrooms, apparently, and like will shoot you if you try to get them to stop. So that's anyway, that's apparently what this is. I'll play it for you.
I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom.
Oh,
It will be
God.
the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. This is a call to action and a call to arms to everybody within the United States that are scared, worried, have children that are transgender, lesbian, bi, or gay. This is a call to action. You need to arm up. Plain and simple. Go out, buy a gun, learn how to use it efficiently, through and through, because the time to act is now. You need to protect yourself, and you need to protect your fellow transgender brothers and sisters and theys and thems. You need to protect the rest of us in the LGBT community, as I'm going to do myself. I do not fear Christians. I do not fear conservatives. I do not fear evangelicals, and I do not fear Republicans. They just talk a big game. That's all they do. But heaven forbid you do something in my presence. You're going to know what fear actually feels like.
Oh my God. So ladylike. That's just like something you would totally expect a woman to say. Although some women have been threatening violence lately. That's kind of it's so frightening. I'll kill you if I can't go to the ladies' room. Like, no, literally. I will kill you. Okay, that'll probably reflect well. It's like all these crazy trans people you start thinking there's something to it. Like maybe you should be afraid. They don't reflect well though on the transgender community. Like they don't care. Hold on one sec. I haven't banned anybody in my chat for so long, but I know this guy is such a lunatic. It's good. Things must be going well for lunatics to be back. Oh, there we go. I have someone dealing with it already. Thanks, Baldo. I'm going to do this. God, that guy is so weird. You guys don't want to know what it's like being famous. People stalk you. I don't know what it's like. All right, so that was that transgender person. And then this person called into Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace is the one making a big deal out of it. So this was a voicemail left for her because she's trying to, in all federal buildings, she's trying to pass a thing.
Hey, this call is actually for you little fucking faggot. You want to work under and then you're going to have the balls to fucking talk about trans fucking issues? You little fucking dumb degenerate bitch. Fuck all you fucking pearl clutching fucking white degenerate pieces of shit, dude. You literally, none of y'all are about shit. I still dare you to fucking give me a call back at 502-759-9704, you fucking white trash Nazi motherfuckers. Literally, I hope you fucking hear this and kill yourself. I genuinely will pray to God that you kill yourself. Fuck you. Hey, this call is actually for...
There you go. So that's deranged people calling in to Nancy Mace. So it's two deranged people regarding trans bathrooms. But like I said, the left is kind of like retreating on this issue. So don't know how long it's going to hold up. I think we might be going back on transgender rights, so-called rights, like using our spaces and stuff, using ladies' spaces, that is. Okay, so I have that. I have those things for you. Gosh, I have so much Bitcoin stuff. It's kind of crazy. All right, I have the View. The View, because they're so liberal or talking about Republicans in a slanderous way most of the time, I guess, they get handed legal notes now all the time, like ransom notes pretty much that they have to read. So this is a compilation. Oops. This is a compilation of their legal notes.
Oh, okay. So you have to read this thing.
Oh, I've got a legal note. I do have a quick legal note.
You got to milk this cow.
Yes, I have a legal note.
You have a legal note again.
Oh, I do. Wow, another one.
So
I have two legal notes. Ginny denied any conflict of interest between her activism and her husband's work on the Supreme Court.
But she doesn't
acknowledged
want him tonight.
That's my legal notes. But let me say this very quickly. Ginny Thomas has denied any conflict of interest between her activism and her husband's work.
You got a legal
I have a
note.
legal note. Trump denied Esper's claims about wanting to shoot protesters. I have a legal note. Simon Lviv denies serial fraud and said he would proceed with the lawsuit for defamation. Congressman Loudermilk has denied any wrongdoing.
You have a legal note.
Roy Moore and Representative Matt Gaetz have denied any wrongdoing.
Uh-oh, here's another one.
Turning Point USA has condemned the group of neo-Nazis and said they have nothing to do with the organization.
But you let them in. You let them in and you knew what they were.
We want to make clear that these demonstrators were gathered outside the event and that they were not invited. We apologize for anything we said that may have been unclear on these points.
My bad.
God, they're so bad. I don't know if they're going to change. So anyway, in the news, they're not on MSNBC. They're on ABC, I think. But MSNBC is being spun off by Comcast. Apparently, their rating. I've said this on a number of shows, but it's like I don't know what's going to happen to left-wing media, because it's like a sinking ship, or media like traditional mainstream media in general, or stuff that goes out over the airwaves, which MSNBC doesn't. It goes up over the cables, but nobody watches anymore, and they're going to be up for sale. And Elon Musk says he is thinking of buying it. He said he would like to fire Rachel Maddow for fun, and then turn it into a channel that reports the top stories from X each day. Citizen reporting on cable news. So I could do that for sure. I report on the news every day. So anyway, Joe Rogan chimed in, said he would replace Rachel Maddow, dress like her, and say the same lies as her, is what he said. It's being reported. He said it on Twitter. Can't find the comment right now, but I saw it. So MSNBC is going up for sale. Elon Musk might buy it. Joe Rogan, etc. Okay, what else do I have? I have. Okay, Elon Musk. A few things about Elon. Let's see. We have Cenk Uygur, who is saying that they should work with Elon Musk because they want to shrink the size of government to shrink the Pentagon. So let me play that.
This is the tweet that you sent. It's very controversial. Let's put it up here. Hey, Elon Musk, put me in charge of the Pentagon. I'll slash 400 billion easy. That'll get you 20% to your goal of 2 trillion right out of the gate. I went to Wharton 3 years before you. I own a media company, so I know how to run a business. If you really want to cut, put me in coach. Elon Musk actually responded and said, specific suggestions are welcome. What is the problem?
Yeah, I can't imagine what the problem is. What I'm telling the left is take the win. It's not that complicated. So they say, well, look, they're not really going to do it. Well, then if they don't do it, then we'll call them out on it. Again, where's the problem? Oh, they were actually going to cut Medicare and Medicaid. That's probably true, and it's very likely, and we'll fight them on that. But why would we fight them on a thing we agree on? So we've been wanting to cut the Pentagon for decades on the left, and there's a reason for that too. It's because that is where the biggest fraud and abuse are. Because anytime you go to cut the Pentagon, they go, "Oh, you're going to endanger national security. Oh my God, where all of our lives are going to be lost if you cut it by $1." That's why they stuff all the pork in the Pentagon. If they're going to cut, they got to cut at the Pentagon. And now we're having a conversation. And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene today, when talking about how she's going to head up the Doge committee in the House, said one of the first places to cut is the Pentagon. The rest of the left, please take the win.
Do you think it's just, hey, we can't even entertain a conversation with Elon Musk or the Donald Trump administration? Do you think that this is he just won the election. Is there a lesson that has to be learned right now? Do you think it's just we can't even look like we're cooperating whatsoever?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. And there's a lot of spite out there. But I just can't understand the logic of it. If they do something wrong, you call them out. If they do something right, you give them credit. It's just common sense. And guys, there's another element to it. I have run the largest online network, period, but certainly the largest on the left, and no one would dispute that. And a Democratic leader has never asked me, hey, any suggestions? Hey, we'd like to cut the Pentagon. I mean, when's the last time a Democratic leader said that? And oh my God, we'd like to talk to our base and find out how we can cut the Pentagon. And by the way, when Elon asked, I gave him a suggestion of why don't we ban conflict of interest that the generals have? Don't let them go to defense contractors after they retire, because
Don Jr. agreed with you on that. Don Jr. agreed with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And look, I reached out. I said, if you guys are genuine about this, let's actually do this. As you see, I've got the tweet up there. I said they authorize so much wasteful spending because they're going to get hired by those same companies. And Don Jr. said, this is a great idea that has been discussed.
So let me ask you this.
Fantastic.
There you go. He said, yeah, generals are not allowed to get a job with defense contractors for 10 years. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of stuff they can fix. There's a lot of corruption in politics. So, in spending, particularly military spending, where they just charge anything they want because they're like, you're going to die. So, they're like, no, people will die. So, you have to pay 10,000% markup on a screw. That's what they say at the Pentagon. And then they're like, and then later you're like, oh, what'd you spend everything on? Or where's that screw we paid 10,000% markup off? And they're like, we don't know. What are you talking about? Where are those tanks we paid for? I'm not sure, really. How'd you lose those? Oh, well, it's not waste, fraud, and abuse. So yeah, we can cut the military budget. That'd be interesting. Everybody loves to raise the military budget. It always goes up because they make sure they're like set up in every state. God, The whole government is like a money laundering operation. The whole thing. They take your tax dollars, and then they get to print money too, which is amazing. Once they figure out they can just print money and buy Bitcoin, it's going to be, I mean, they're going to be like, what? Banks are already figuring that out. Oh, what? We can do what? Yeah, you just do that. Print your way out of debt. It's ridiculous. All right, here's the alternate point of view on Elon Musk. I don't get into these people much. There's like a contingent of people, well, including someone I work with in our t-shirt shop, who are like, I think they're kind of a little left, and then they just hate elites. I think all of them. They're just skeptical of everybody. So they were like, these are the people that when Elon Musk bought Twitter, they were like, this is the war, or, you know, they were like, there's nothing good about Elon Musk buying Twitter, even though obviously, like, we see the results. There's more free speech and stuff. Trump won the election. But these people want to point out the problems with Elon Musk. So we have to be open to that. And whether he's beholden to Israel and Israeli war criminals, which is what this person says in this tweet. So I'll play Whitney Webb. Whitney Webb is one of these people. And no, they were cool with RFK Jr., I think. But they're skeptical of the whole Trump thing, not into Trump, you know, never into politics. Here is what she said about Elon.
So maybe he wants to project, you know, this persona of like, I'm one of the bros, I'm one of the guys, you know, I believe in free speech and all of this. And certainly when he bought Twitter, that's what he said. But then it became, you know, oh yeah, free speech, but not freedom of reach. And now it's sort of changing again with the appointment of this new CEO. And again, you know, I don't really have any high hopes, and I didn't necessarily when Musk bought Twitter, just because I tend to be kind of skeptical, and I guess you could probably say cynical about these types of people. And, you know, I personally, just from my own, you know, experience with Epstein research, I have found Musk not to be very upfront about some of those connections there. So, for example, you know, he'll be like, a lot of people like to bring up the picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell from 2014. He'll say he was photobombed and all of this. But he won't bring up the fact, well, at least reporters seem to have forgotten that Kimball Musk, his brother, who's on the board of Tesla and SpaceX, was introduced to a member of Epstein's entourage who had dated Epstein and lived at the apartments on 301 66th Street East.
That's true. That is an interesting connection. That's legitimate. Is that his brother dated like one of Epstein's girls or something? So he was introduced or something to the person he dated through Ghislaine Maxwell, something like that. That is true. He might be more connected to Epstein then. But not everybody who was friends with Epstein diddled kids. Some people, he just wanted the intellectual, you know, he wanted to like collect their intellectual whatever and give them money or what have you. So Elon Musk, don't think he did that. But there is a connection with his brother.
Where all these traffic girls lived, a girl from there starts dating Kimball Musk, and somehow Epstein is allegedly granted access to SpaceX facilities and tours, and then is allegedly advising Tesla, according to the New York Times reporter James Stewart, who was told by someone else that Epstein was advising Tesla, and then goes before Epstein's 2019 arrest and most of his public infamy, goes and asks him about if the rumors were true. And Epstein says yes. And this is during a time when Musk is saying he's trying to secure capital to take Tesla private, I believe. And this was allegedly involving one of the Saudi wealth funds of the Saudi government. And at that time, Epstein was a very, very close advisor to Mohammed bin Salman, who had recently come to power.
There you go. So, yeah, and then she says Trump is owned by the Saudis, which it's kind of true. I mean, you know, people are dirty. Everybody is. All right, are you guys ready for... there's a crazy headline from MSNBC today about Laken Riley's killer. They ended up changing it, but this was a headline. Said Laken Riley's killer never stood a chance. For all the political controversy surrounding Jose Ibarra, the outcome of this trial was never in doubt. It's crazy. They changed the headline entirely to say, oh, his guilt was never in doubt. I think that's what the new headline said. His guilt was never in doubt. It's crazy. But that's what they ran. Laken Riley's killer never stood a chance because, the poor illegal immigrant, because the Republicans going after him. That's the implication, is that because the Republicans made a big deal out of it, he had no chance. Well, he did kill. They're insane. All right, I'm going to show you just fun videos for Bitcoin, and we're going to try to get it to 100K. We were going to try to get it to 100K during the show. We thought it would be an appropriate anniversary show, November 22nd. There is a super chat challenge. I saw somebody ask if they can donate via buymeacoffee.com. They can. You can also buy t-shirts. It's a good time to buy. I expect people to buy Bitcoin t-shirts. They're like $5, some of them. This one's $10, I think. It's so cool, though. Make sure to go to our store, Truth Revolution Clothing at truthclothing.io. I have to run that banner. And if you want to donate without YouTube taking some, which I appreciate, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Otherwise, we can do a challenge. I like challenges. You can, instead of donating, you can buy Bitcoin and give me a quarter of it when it gets to 200,000, which it will probably pretty soon. Or you can hold it until it gets to 1 million and give me all of it. Either one, your choice. But yeah, you can donate any way you want. Super chats, whatever. All right, I have Blazing Scar says, do you have good prices on your shirts? I have below market pricing on all of our shirts. It's because it's a clearance sale. It's because we're kind of going out of business. So we may make more t-shirts one day based on your frequenting our business. We may keep it open, but right now we've been selling down inventory and stuff. But we have very good prices. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, I have a few videos. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, you got to hear this thing about, okay, I said we should print money to buy Bitcoin. Banks are figuring out that they can combine loans. So listen to this. This is a description of how, it's a little dry, but it's a description of how they're using Bitcoin. Should I just tell it to you? I'll explain it to you so you don't have to hear it because it is kind of dry. They're giving loans, commercial loans. They gave one where they say the person has to use some of the money to buy Bitcoin. And then the Bitcoin is held in escrow for 4 years. So then the bank, it like evens out the bank's risk because real estate's really hard to sell. It can go down in value, make it like really illiquid. So they're combining it with Bitcoin. Basically, though, it's a first step to just like, it's a crazy hack that Michael Saylor learned, that you should just borrow money to buy Bitcoin. But if you can create money, that's even better. And banks can create money to loan it. They just look for good assets, but they can create the money out of thin air. So if they start saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin is like an investment like real estate that we can loan people money for, then it's like one step later, they're like, oh, we could just do this ourselves. We don't need customers. We just buy Bitcoin. That's our business. We'll just create money and buy Bitcoin and like loan it to ourselves. It's crazy. But that's what's going to happen pretty much. Like, I'm pretty confident that the number is going up, maybe forever at this point. It might go up forever. It might not go down anymore. I mean, a little bit sometimes. But it might not have those big dips because countries are going to buy it. So Kramer says to buy it now. He's on board. He said Bitcoin was
MSTR. We used to call that Mr. MSTR. I've got to tell you, it's a Bitcoin play. I prefer to actually own Bitcoin. I know that Citron put some sort of short on it. All I can tell you is own Bitcoin. That's a winner. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the conclusion of the lightning round. We call MSTR. We used to call that.
There you go. Regular people would not be able to get a loan to buy Bitcoin. Well, maybe in the future they will. If the bank can say, oh, it's secured, like the bank gets to hold on to it for 4 years. Every 4 years, no one's ever held Bitcoin for 4 years and been down, ever. No one's ever bought Bitcoin and 4 years later been down, ever, from what I understand. So yeah, they might loan it to you. Seriously, they might be like, oh, that's a fair investment. Don't know. But they're making the guys buy it with this real estate package. They're insisting that they use the money to buy Bitcoin, you know, after they do their improvements and stuff, that they have to buy Bitcoin and the bank has to hold it for 4 years. Oh man, shit's going to get so crazy. 2025 is going to be crazy for cryptocurrency, and it might just be a decent year. We'll see.
Well, let me ask you a different question, because you just said that you might not do it personally. Do you own crypto and any Bitcoin or Ethereum? Would you play around with this?
I do. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to own it as a part of a diversified portfolio. And I'm not giving anybody investment advice, by the way.
When did you get interested in it?
I've been interested in it for a while, and I've been researching it and so forth. And so I think it's interesting.
There you go. Tim Cook has Bitcoin. RFK Jr. has Bitcoin. What's his name says all that like Republicans are all going to be rich now, or people that follow him, that like everybody who has Bitcoin is going to be rich. We're going to dominate. So we'll see. I'll show you some video to prove it.
So, as you can see here on the chart, for like 4 years, Bitcoin was in like the hundreds of dollar range. And it just kind of hung out there. Yeah, like maybe it bounced down, maybe it bounced up. But it was basically in the hundreds of dollar range for like 4 fucking years. Then it went to the thousands of dollar range. And it just stayed there. Yeah, it bounced above 10 briefly. But it went in the thousands of dollars range. Then it went to the tens of thousands of dollars range. And it stayed there for 3 fucking years. And now we're coming to the end of it. What the fuck do you think is going to happen next? You think it's going to go to the $0 range? No, it's going to $100,000 fucking dollars. The fuck God. 6-figure range, bitch. It's going 6 figures. So.
Okay. All right. So that's important. Then this is, people are creating cryptocurrencies, including children. I think, one thing about Bitcoin is anybody can buy it. You don't have to like pass a test or anything, or cryptocurrency. Pretty much anybody can create it. I guess these guys created one. It is funny seeing people celebrate their crypto gains. Yeah. And the thing went to 22,000 market cap. I think they probably made a few $100.
To the moon! To the moon! Get that shit back! Oh, wait, the beat drop! Yeah! Yeah! Beat drop! To the moon!
That's how people feel right now.
Come on! Let's go! Hey! Oh, we're bumping. Guys, keep buying. God, let me check. Pumping right now.
So that's what people are feeling with the pump. Oh yeah, all right. So I showed you that. I showed you everything. So we're good. Too much Bitcoin talk. It didn't hit 100. I've been watching it during the show. Now I have to go back to not watching it, just getting updates. It's around 99,000. It's close. Some other stuff is going crazy though. So anyway, up to you. You do what you want. I can't give financial advice. No super chats today. That's all right. It's a sacrifice to the Bitcoin gods. Everything is a sacrifice now. You must sacrifice. I was going to see. Somebody said they were going to buy me a coffee, so I'll check on that. And you can buy t-shirts if you want. Tim G. Oh, thanks, Tim G. I got a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Tim G bought a coffee, says, I appreciate the time you take to bring us news, Nate. I know it takes effort on YouTube. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope people are better informed. I try to bring you guys the news, funny videos, investment advice. That's not investment advice, etc. So hope everybody's doing well. Stay positive. If we all die, let's think that it was worth it. That'd be good. Be like, oh, it's okay. Like if we die now, or if we die from nuclear war, it's okay. We did some things. People appreciated us. Just think positive. All right, y'all. We'll see you at the next one. For now, that's what it is. Bitcoin 100K weekend.